Good morning, folks. You know, let's have a little coffee together before I head to work. Been paying attention to what's going on here with this misbegotten war that Donald Trump started for, I don't know, could be any number of reasons, but you can bet your life that part of the reason, or at least two reasons for this war, are placating Benjamin Netanyahu and distracting from the Epstein files. Okay. And people should never stop talking about that or demanding the files, and the Democrats certainly aren't. Okay. But yesterday, Iran said they have no intention of sitting down and talking to the United States about a resolution to this war, even though Donald Trump has been posting on his Truth Social that Iran wants a way out of this war. Iran has said that they will continue to fight for as long as they need to fight. Okay? And why should Iran talk to Donald Trump? Because guess what? Iran was in discussions with the United States and was having a mediator come in to resolve this issue when Donald Trump just decided to attack Iran. That is an actual fact. I read in articles that they were close to an agreement on the nuclear issue. The fact of the matter is that Donald Trump doesn't want an agreement with Iran. They don't want an agreement with Iran. Neither Benjamin Netanyahu wants an agreement with Iran. And quite frankly, Saudi Arabia doesn't want an agreement with Iran either. Okay, because, you know, let me bring you back to this whole board of peace thing here. Who sits on that board of peace? Certainly not many of our allies, if any of our allies, but Jared Kushner does. Jared Kushner, who took $2 billion from the Saudis, and we never got to the bottom of that. Okay? They were saying it was for investment purposes. Jared Kushner is an investor. He never has been an investor. He had no capabilities, no knowledge, and no background in investing when he took that money. All right? None. So as we move on in this war and we listen to Pete Hegseth talk nonsense in front of the cameras, now he's complaining about the way they show his face angry. Well, that's because he's angry. That's because he's vile. That's because he doesn't give a shit how many American people die in this war. And he doesn't give a shit about the Iranian people either. He referred to them as dogs, I believe. What did dogs ever do to him? Donald Trump is a liar. He's been a fucking liar since the day he was born, since the day he came out of the womb. Okay? He has lied through his entire first term. He lied through every re-election cycle he's been in. He is lying about the Epstein files, and he is lying about this war. He's gotten himself into a war that could go on for many years now. Did we need this again? Is this what we signed on for? This war is now beginning to wreak havoc with the economy. He had already destroyed the economy before this war, right? Okay, I don't know about you, but didn't he promise to make groceries affordable again? Well, let me tell you something. I'm a family of two people. I can't get my freaking food bill below 200 bucks. Not even close. Two people. I've never been there before. It's absurd. And if you think that this war is going to make any of this easier, if you think that gas prices aren't going to skyrocket even more than they are already, and that this isn't going to affect every other part of the economy, world markets are a mess, our markets are a mess, you're wrong. This isn't a war about justice. None of this. This isn't a war about an imminent threat on the United States because there wasn't any. That's a fucking lie. Now, Let me just remind everybody about something. Yeah, we had 77 million people who voted for Donald Trump for whatever reason. And please, let's not start with the Elon Musk stole the election shit, because until you can provide me with some evidence, I'm not going there. All right? I'm not doing the MAGA thing. Okay? And I mean real evidence that, you could bring into a court of law and get this overturned. Because until you can do that, none of this means anything. The real fact of the matter is that 90 million people did not bother to register or did not bother to vote. But 90 million people was the only landslide that came out of the November 2024 election. We have a midterm election coming up in 2026. We're not that many months away from it now. Okay? People shouldn't even have to campaign. It should be clear what the American people need to do if they really care about saving themselves. People shouldn't even have to campaign. It should be clear what's going on here with the present regime. And the longer these people stay in office, and I mean the senators and the Congress people, the GOP, the more trouble we're going to be in. And yes, there are Democrats who need to go too, but first we have to take care of the imminent problem here, because had you elected Kamala Harris, none of this would be going on. It's time to face facts. Get out on the streets on March 28th for No Kings and get into the voting booth on November 3rd, 2026, if you care about this country. Because posting on social media, that ain't getting you anywhere. I will talk to you all later.